Welcome, I'm Adrian Bear, I'm the Solution Architect at i-PMO, and this is the second video in a series of videos, and in this video we'll be covering creating a reporting schema using i-PMO's SharePoint DataMiner. Now, reporting schemas are basically a store for storing a common structure of list information from across the entire SharePoint farm. We can collate list content and report across site collections, which has not really been done properly before. So if we start with SharePoint Central Admin and under Application Management, and we'll scroll down to the DataMiner menu groups and we'll select Reporting Schemas. Now I'm going to create a reporting schema based on an issues list from project server, project workspace sites, but it doesn't really matter what list or schema you use. You can do this across any type of SharePoint list whatsoever, calendars, task lists, anything. So if we start with Add New, and I'll give this a display name of Issues, and we're going to store it in the default reporting data database that we set up in the first video. And I'm going to store this in the reporting data database in a table called Issues. Now this is going to be the physical table name, and this is just the reporting schema's display name in DataMiner. Now if we select Add Fields, what we're going to do is select a SharePoint list to source the initial set of reporting schema fields from. So if I change the site collection to a project web access site, so project, we'll start with the PWA one, go OK, and then we can actually select a list from one of the project workspace sites I've set up. So we'll expand that out and select Issues, and this has gone and picked all the fields from that issues list that really makes sense to be able to report on. Now you can display the hidden fields if you desire, but in most cases you probably won't need to. Now this Manage This List checkbox is actually going to automatically add this list that we're using to the list of managed lists. Now that will make sense just in just a moment, but for the moment I'll click Save. So that's defined the schema. Now if we click Enable, that will actually go and physically create the empty table in the reporting database. So if we return now to Application Management and scroll down here and click on Lists to Manage, and this is where that checkbox we were talking about earlier makes sense. We've already created a record in here that relates any list with the title of issues that's in any site in this site collection with the reporting schema called Issues. Now I've actually got two site collections that I'm storing issues in, so I'm going to add the second site collection now. So all we have to do is click Add List, and we'll change to our PWS site collection, which is also under the same web application, PWS, and OK. And we select from the PWS site collection one of the sites I've got here in the issues list from that site. And we also have to make sure that we've selected the issues reporting schema that we're binding it to. So we just click Save. We've now got issues from two different site collections being collated into a reporting schema. Now that's not all we have to do. At the moment all we've done is set up the structure. We haven't actually pulled any data out of these sites yet. And in order to do that there's two steps. First of all, we have to add event receivers to these lists within the sites within this site collection. So we'll do that now. We'll click Add Event Receivers. The PWS site, we don't need the top level site, just the sub-sites. We'll select Add, and we'll do that again for the PWA site collection. And OK. And again, we don't need the top level site. Select Add. Now that's cycled through all sites and found any list with the title of issues and added the DataMiner event receivers. So we have one more step to do, and that's if we click on this item we can actually select Mine Now, and that'll run through this site collection looking for any lists with this title that have the event receivers attached, suck the data out and insert it into the reporting schema table that we've created in a reporting data database by clicking Mine Now. So we'll do that with both sets at the same time. And if we go to SQL Server Management Studio, we can actually see that content now. And if we select DataMiner reporting data, stretch this out, and select all the rows from the issues table, we actually have the content from both of those site collections. So now that's wonderful, but obviously we want to be able to report on this data in real time. Now that's what the event receivers are for. So if we now return to the web browser and pick one of the lists out of here, you'll notice we've got 4 records at the moment in that issues table. If we return to one of these sites, doesn't really matter which one, we'll just pick one at random. Test 2 sounds good. And we'll click on issues and we'll start entering an issue just like any regular user would. So if we go new, and select video demo, we'll just enter in some random information in here. And we'll select a due date just for fun. And click OK. And we might just do that again just to give us some more data. Okay. Now if we return to SQL Server Management Studio and rerun this query, you notice we've immediately got the additional 2 records. So that's basically all we're going to do for this video. And now in the third video we're going to cover off how to create a report from this data, because as you can see this data's got all the list information as well as the site that it came from and the title of the list. So in the third video we're going to create a report, and in the fourth video we'll cover how to display that report in a SharePoint site. Thank you.